My buddies were in a 3-hour fight over a parking spot. Junior year of college, I worked with my buddy Kyle. Kyle and I would carpool. Oh, yeah. I'd pull up to pick up Kyle for our afternoon shift. You know the people who you look at them, and even though they're your age, they look like they've lived a longer life than you? Kyle gives me that look. Looks like he's lived 6 lives today. He sits down in my car. Oh, my God, dude. We were just in a 3-hour debate with Sean about a parking spot. Sean had a girlfriend. At first, we were like, oh, she seems pretty nice. And then we found out she wasn't enrolled in school. She didn't have a job. And she just moved into 219 and lived with him for 6 months, basically. And not only did she live there, she never left the house. They already had a tight parking lot because it was a 5-person house. And you had basically 6 parking spots. Sean and another roommate of theirs had girlfriends. So they had a 2-car garage back there that nobody parked in or used. So they asked Sean, hey, could your girlfriend just park her car in front of yours in the garage so we have an extra space for another buddy's girlfriend who actually leaves, works, and goes to school. And they had prepared this conversation because Sean always gets defensive. Sean will never admit this, but Sean is the kid who talks mad shit but is also very sensitive. All love to Sean, but he's a little sensitive when it comes to things related to him. Kyle says him, Tex, and their 2 other roommates are been prepping for this conversation for days because they know it's just not going to go well. So Sean gets home from class, comes in the back door, and they're like, hey, man, why don't we sit down in the living room? They're doing an intervention over this parking spot. Hey, man, why don't we sit down in the living room and talk about this for a little bit? And he's like, what's going on? What's the problem? And they're like, well, your girlfriend never really leaves the house. How about she just parks in the garage? You park in front of her. That way everybody else can get in and out of the driveway without always asking her to move her car or asking you to move her car. And Sean goes ballistic. Oh, I see how it is. You guys are coming after me and my girlfriend where so-and-so and his girlfriend are doing the same shit. And they're like, no, it's not about that. But so-and-so and his girlfriend actually leave the home. Your girlfriend never leaves. So it becomes this whole debate. Sean at the time drove one of those huge Honda Pilots. And they're like, Sean, we're not asking you to move your car. We're asking your girlfriend to park in the garage. It doesn't have any effect on anyone but you and your girlfriend. That way, you don't have to move your car every time your girlfriend leaves, or your girlfriend doesn't have to pull out every time you leave. Let's just put her in the garage because she never leaves the home. Obviously, it was on Sean's mind anyway, so he's like, oh, I get it. You guys are coming after my girlfriend because her lifestyle's different than yours. And they're like, Kyle says him and Tex are literally screaming at Sean like, it has nothing to do with your girlfriend's lifestyle, which is hilarious because our other buddy would crack jokes all the time. And every time I was over, Matthias was venting to me like, man, we need to make this chick pay rent. She'd be living here using our stuff more than us. Oh my God. Kyle's telling me the story. This argument went on and got so serious to the point where Kyle pulls out a notebook. He drew multiple diagrams drawing out their parking situation. I'm talking detailed breakdown, drawing an outline of the garage, drawing Sean's girlfriend's car in the garage, drawing the tree stump that's in their driveway. Like, he went to town on all the different details of it to explain to Sean how the parking situation was going to work. And he still, to this day, never got it. He felt like it was all about they were attacking his girlfriend because she had a different lifestyle than theirs. And they were like, dude, it's not that deep. It's just about a parking spot. So that was the funniest story. And then Sean was like, well, I'm not talking to her alone. You guys need to tell her. So when she came downstairs to have the conversation with Sean and them, next of them explained like, no, look, like, we just need you to move your car in here since you leave the least out of everybody. That simple of a conversation. So after a 2.5-hour debate with Sean, it takes less than 5 minutes for Sean's girlfriend to understand she has no problem with it, pulls her car in the garage. Done. So it was so funny hearing that story because Kyle is not the type of dude to get triggered very often. But it does get to a point, especially with our friend group, there's only a certain level of stupidity that Kyle can handle from us. And I tell all these stories on here, but it's like some people I think like, man, this is just a group of assholes at times. And it's like, truthfully, like you want friends who are assholes. You don't want fake friends that kiss your ass and act like, you're the greatest all the time, even when you're not. Like the reason that I have such good friends from high school and college is because we were willing to have those honest conversations with each other and call each other out. I mean, we have called each other out on everything from life decisions to relationship decisions. And even if we're wrong in calling out our friends, they all get it because it's like, I'm not really calling you out and I'm not talking shit to you. This is my way of vocalizing and I'm checking in on you, bro. Like, that's a true friend. That's a friend that's really looking out for you. And I guess my thing is like the reason that I've been able to keep this going for a couple years now and keep chasing this dream is because that ultimate goal is to have an entertainment company with me and my friends. Obviously, my family's a huge motivation as well, but having that backing from friends that I know have my back regardless. Like we might not talk every day, we might get busy with the things in life that distract you from what really matters, which is having those genuine friendships and connections and checking in on the people that you care about. But at the end of the day, having guys like that, that's what really matters. And that's my, like I said, I've said it before, like it might sound corny, but that's my biggest motivation to keep moving forward is that someday I'm going to be walking into some type of office building with Kyle, Sean, and Tex. And that shit's motivating. That shit makes you want to keep going because those guys are my boys and I know that they would do anything for me. And that is a true friend. That I'd rather have the friend that might come across as a dick but's being honest with me versus the fake friend that's just going to kiss my ass and not tell me how they really feel. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but if you have a real friend, it's somebody who's genuinely honest with you, even when it might hurt your ego or feelings a little bit at times. So, and the reason I'm telling that story is because we're heading up to Coney Island for the Nathan's National Hot Dog Eating Contest. Tex planned the trip and basically signed up five or six of us to go. So I'm really looking forward to it. I guarantee you we're going to have a couple podcast episodes from that week together up there for the 4th of July. I usually never go live, but I'm definitely going to be putting some live feeds up of us at the hot dog eating contest because that shit's about to be legendary. Joey Chestnut is going to dominate. That's a guarantee. So that's today's episode. Hope everybody's well. See you soon. Talks with Tom.
Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more. I was riding around town thinking to myself, is it gonna get easier? I'll be up and away up the street getting paid, but I can't even breathe no more. What's it to me? What can I see? Taking shots by the lake till I can't even breathe no more, see no more.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. And we're good.